Okay, what up ladies and gents, it's your favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully your favorite official content creator for the First Descendant, and today we're going to talk about whether or not elemental damage matters for weapons like Greg's. And for Greg's Reverse Fate, elemental damage does actually matter, and the build that I previously did with elemental damage did come out on top. Why was this an issue? Because people were saying that other mods may actually do better. Well, we spent 4 hours, if you guys didn't know. We did this stream the other day where we spent 4 hours actually testing this. We fought Swamp Walker with the same build on Glay and consistently just went through multiple iterative tests to see which combination of mods would give the best results. The results of that, funnily enough, we recorded on a spreadsheet, and Elemental Enhancement was the clear winner, okay? And later on, Elemental Enhancement plus Focus Fire became the clear winner. Priority actually was a lot worse. So let me give you a more clear picture. Okay, previously my build involved, just put a blank slot here. Previously, if you guys would look at my Greg's build, my build involved something like this, all right? This was good, but not great. A lot of people said that they would prefer like half aiming or edging shot or focus fire. So I decided to test them all, and because I was very confident in my elemental damage. However, what I did discover is that the elemental priority actually worsens results, which is wild, but also something I guess we have to be aware of. So the best combination, like I mentioned, was actually elemental plus focus fire. This actually gave the best bang for your buck when it comes to dealing with Swamp Walker, because at the time we were using Swamp Walker as a nice little test boss because he's got multiple phases. You have to be able to deal a good enough damage to get his kill time down. So we used him as the guinea pig. But this, what you're seeing up here, is the ideal combination, and it is actually better than what I had before, where I would put the elemental priority in, because although reload speed should not theoretically affect the damage, it actually does drastically affect your kill times in the field. Possibly this could be because you're spending more time reloading, or you have to deal with the longer reload speed, which could make you slightly slower when it comes to his phasing and things like that. There are so many ways to explain it, but all I could say is that it drastically affected results compared to Focus Fire, which was a lot stronger. Once again, if I put up the spreadsheet, you'll see that Focus Fire, after doing 6 runs, comparing it to Inside Focus and Elemental damage, basically Focus Fire was the clear winner. Okay, so let me walk you guys through the test a little bit so that you guys know what we actually did before I go into the results. Okay, so how do we test it? Well, first and foremost, what we did was that I would place in this particular slot up here, because I had several available options. I started by testing edging shot, sorry. I started by testing edging shot, then I decided to test half aiming by putting it here, and I left this slot blank. And then last but not least, I tested the elemental enhancement. So in this case, it was again Swamp Walker. I tested electric enhancement. Okay, so that is what I did. After that, we determined that electric enhancement was the best, and then after that, we tested all the others in this one slot. So we were using things like inside focus. We had to rejig the slots around a little bit, but because I have the ability to shift things around, like if I was testing inside focus, for example. Now this is just for the sake of proving that we did do the testing correctly. I would change it to something like this. All right, I would change this one to X. Here. So I put my mental focus here. Okay. I would put my electric enhancement here, and then inside focus here. So I could still create the same structure for the test, at least, and have all of this in. However, what we determined, like I mentioned, was that Focus Fire was the best, and that was clearly the winner. So after doing all those tests, and again, you can check out the footage if you want to, we settled on this. We want to also take a moment to explain why, but I'll do that as I go through the results. First, I want to put this build back so that later on when I do the demonstration, it'll be a lot clearer for you guys. Okay, let's now go through the testing and how we did it. So basically, I started with edging shot, as I showed you guys. I structured my mod so that only edging shot was in there, no elemental enhancement. The rest of the build was kept consistent. And edging shot roughly gave me within 2 runs was about 191. Now this could have drastically changed, assuming I had a very good run of crits, but the power simply wasn't there because edging shot costs you 15% of your firearm attack, which is a pretty heavy penalty. Then we tested half aiming, and half aiming, although it is a pure bonus to weak spot damage, the decrease in accuracy without Hawkeye or something to mitigate it was extremely painful. Using half aiming alone in the build was no good, and although the kill times were better whenever we were on target, overall we did not see great results with just half aiming. Then what we tried was Elemental Enhancement. Elemental Enhancement gave the best out of all of it. We did 2 runs, so then we saw that, hey, this is drastically shorter than the other 2. And we tried 2 more runs, and results were seemingly consistent around the average. And we received an average time of about 154 seconds, which is 2 minutes and 34 seconds on average. Whereas the other 2 were roughly 3 minutes, 3 minutes 10, somewhere around there. So then, after determining that Elemental Enhancement worked really well, we swapped over to using Elemental Enhancement plus others in a combination. So we tried with Edging Shot, and the kill time worsened. So if the average kill time here was 154, we tried with Edging Shot and it worsened the kill time. Now, it wasn't that bad, but I do have to say it was worse. Why is it worse? Because the minus 15% firearm attack will also affect your Elemental Enhancement, which is a 30% bonus. Like, it'll add 30% electric attack based on your firearm attack in the first place, right? So by lowering firearm attack, you get even less bonus, so it's like a double whammy effect. So Edging Shot, as expected, did not perform well. Half aiming suffered from the same problems that we saw in the first run. While the timings of half aiming were on average better than what we saw in the initial runs, the spread without Hawkeye to counter it actually resulted in worse results than just electric enhancement alone. But this wasn't an isolated incident. We tried electric priority, all right, and it was even worse. All right, the average timing here was 188. Could I have had some really bad runs? Maybe. I mean, you can check the footage for yourself, but I don't believe so. I genuinely believe that the reload time was causing major problems. There was one run where it was like 2 minutes 39 seconds, which was really good, but the other 2 runs were like 200, 205. I feel like the extra reload time just made it so that like any mistake made during the run was punished, and if you get knocked down or something, your kill time goes wild as compared to if you evade every single attack. So overall, having electric priority in there, although I expected it to boost the electrical damage I was dealing, therefore I should have a shorter kill time than this because I'm getting more electric bonus, the reload time cost me everything. So then it came down to 2 things: Inside Focus and Focus Fire. Both of these were positive bonuses that, would not cause me any problem. So I said, okay, let's try this out. Inside Focus increases the critical hit rate and the critical damage. Focus Fire increases the weak spot damage and the critical damage. Having tested both with 6 runs each, all right, Focus Fire came out on top. Inside Focus, although you could have some really good runs where your bombardments would trigger, on average it was worse because being able to hit that extra guaranteed 20% on a weak spot affected the bombardment multiplier as well. So Focus Fire naturally came out on top, and this gave the best results. So Elemental Enhancement plus Focus Fire became the top combination. So for those of you that might have seen the previous video where I posted about priority, you might not want that anymore. And it will also cost you less catalyst because now you just need 1 Malachite catalyst, and you can actually just use Focus Fire in place of the priority and do better. This is the end of the conversation portion. Let me actually show you. So I'm pretty much running the same build that I was running that night, but in the interest of time, I'm going to use my full cooldown version of Glaive, which was already explained to you guys in the Glaive build video. If you haven't seen that, you can take a look at that. But the idea here is that if you use the correct enhancement plus Focus Fire, you can actually dish out a lot of pain to the enemy. The reactor, external components, everything else remains exactly the same as what we would have seen that day. All right. Now, this build is slightly different from what we would have seen that day. Like I said, I'm going for maxed out cooldowns. Why? Because I just want this to be done fast. But I want to demonstrate that this is indeed better overall. So with this particular build, you could sort of target weak spots really easily. And I feel that like the overall damage you would do is just much higher. You can even knock down Swamp Walker during the first initial phase and keep the lethality going. Alright, but once he gets to this stage, you might wanna take a chill pill, start seeking out some extra hit points. Sorry, my frame rates are gonna suffer a little bit because I am recording this and I do have some background processes on. Okay. Damn, lost the mental focus stacks. That would have been so nice, to be honest. See, when I got knocked down during the runs, I think that was the main factor that costed me a lot of time. I forgot. That was entirely my bad. I was a silly boy. Like what we've seen, you can easily get kill times roughly consistent with the results we showed on stream. You can see that we quite easily get roughly around 2 minutes something. And let me give you the exact time. It's about 2 minutes 25, so that's about 1:45. All right, which is in line with what we saw. Like if I didn't make a mistake and get knocked down, it's actually the average time that we got, 1:45. So right there and then you can see that elemental attack plus focus fire works really well. Depending on how many crits you actually do, you will do slightly better or worse, but on average this is what you're gonna see. And I do have to admit that it is better than what I had with priority. So do take note that focus fire is the best option for Gregs, but elemental damage still matters. If you do not put the elemental enhancement on, you will actually see your kill times be quite a bit worse. So do take note of that, and I hope this video helps to showcase to you guys the importance of elemental damage and why it can be so useful for guns. All right, but stay away from priority. Like, I didn't expect the reload time to drastically affect things, but the reload time drastically affects things. So just so you know. All right, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I sincerely appreciate all the love and support. Okay, you guys are awesome. I will see you guys on the next one. Don't forget to register me as your favorite content creator, especially if you enjoy my stuff. But before we go, I do have a few things to say. I know I missed this yesterday, but thank you to all of our top tier channel members. All right, Vegas Moxie, Arcane Silver, CG Mayhem, Death Dawning 982, Haza, Jose, Princess Star, Track Hoodie. Thank you guys so much for being at plus ultra level. For George Tishon, Nisk, and of course BVS Fang, thank you guys for being at the OnlyFan level. You guys are amazing. All right, keep in mind that this is just what I call the top tier. Now for September's top supporters, thank you to CG Mayhem, Rafi Jana, Sir Tommy Gun, Ted Wu, Grand Roku, I Done It. CG Mayhem's our top tipper. Sir Tommy Gun is our top super chatter. Our top channel membership gifter spot has also been taken by CG Mayhem. Thank you so much. Our other top channel membership gifters are George Tishon, I Done Done It, D Russ, and Yo Slime Forever. Thank you guys so much. All right, enjoy the video, and I hope this has helped you guys with your weapon builds. Now, please take note that this applies to a lot of other weapons, not just Greg's, but hopefully this will help you on your journey. See you later.